This is the last weekend of Summer House as we know it. That's why they were tears and crying and clinging to each other in very dramatic ways.
But don't they live in the same city the rest of their lives too?
Yes, of course. But in terms of like this particular configuration of people in this particular moment, this is the last days of summer. Hello, everyone. This is But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio podcast, Summer House. Summer should be fun. Amanda, not fun. I am Sunday, your pop culture professor, a self-proclaimed expert, heavy on the self-proclaimed. And I'm here with Emily.
Yes, former New York City fashion girl, former socialite adjacent person, now psychologist. We're putting all those skills to use on this season.
This is part one of a two-parter that we're going to cover the finale in this one, and then by the time you hear this, the In the City premiere will already be in your feed, so you can just jump from here straight to there. But this is season 10, episode 16, Ski Ya Later. And we saw, Emily loves a pun, y'all. We saw the first half of this party, I think last week, maybe, did we?
Yes, because when I started watching, I was like, wait, have I seen this? Because they're still in their weird ski bikini outfit.
And it becomes more and more sadder and more pitiful. As the party goes on, their costumes become more and more pitiful. But so really, to remind, so it's a really long previously on this season. And if you're listening to this now, you absolutely do not need me to recap you. But some of the things that they started with that I found was interesting in the recap. Previously on, Amanda wants to sleep with Ben or Ben wants to sleep with Amanda. They included that in the previously on.
Sunday, everyone wants to sleep with Amanda.
Yes.
Her telling.
Well, the editors included that little bit of nonsense. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of Carl and Lindsay, and I've got really high hopes for them. They've been doing press and like SpineCon together, so I'm really hyped about that. Wes and Ciara, it's like we see them like get back together friend wise, whatever. Amanda's crying about DJing, and we heard about the fan apartment, the rumors. We saw that whole business on the Apology Dunes. What about compatibility and likability? Blah blah blah. All of that. That we see talk of separation. We see fuck you, Amanda, and we see Kyle and Carl's fight from last week, which was felt like 100 years ago, and it's already forgotten. Everybody's cool.
Well, I mean, that just tells you in the scheme of things, of all the things going on, that was just like, oh yeah, that happened. Boom. I mean, because there's just so much other stuff.
And we will definitely get to that scene between Kyle and Amanda at the beginning of In the City. But I mean, the more I watch about Kyle and how he is being treated and how he's processing through this, the more I like him. And yes, I am going to apologize for like a toxic, mediocre man. That is just my toxic trait. But this whole episode was just so pitiful for him.
I mean, it was hard to watch some of this stuff because you can just see him like processing, through like what is happening still, and not really. It's like he was like still in disbelief, I think,
Right. And it didn't help that he was just lit and could not really execute what he wanted to do. But
I mean, I think that's his personality, though, isn't it?
Like, yes.
Isn't that
even like sober Kyle, though, because you see on the city, we had a whole different Kyle in the city. But this is interesting, though. We pick up there at this après ski party, and they are all kind of like talking and haha, Ben, aren't you glad you pulled your pecker out in Italy and it led to this?
Yeah, the way that like this whole skinny dipping thing, in Italy happened, like keeps getting reframed.
Yeah.
Like, and I would be pissed if I was Ben, to tell you the truth, because it keeps being put back like on him. And
yeah.
did someone strip you down and make you jump in the pool to skinny dip? I think you're an adult and you made that choice. So why does it keep getting thrown back that like, it was Ben. Like,
and I'm confused because I thought it was at Andrea's wedding they went to in Italy, but then
I'm confused too. He made a point to say Kyle was there.
Yeah, and that so it was they went to two weddings in Italy. I mean, yeah,
I'm
it's
hanging out with the
very.
wrong friend group. I'll
Oh,
tell you that.
yeah,
Why was
same
your
girl.
wedding not in Italy?
I mean, same girl. Like, come on. And then there's a lot of scenes of this party, and so anytime that it was, I just wrote party, 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 and then we would get to a little bit of narrative, and then party, 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 and so this is where Kyle and Sierra are talking, and remember, Kyle is hearing about Amanda contemplating a separation for the very first time, like day before yesterday, ahead of his crash out. That is what happened.
Right. Sierra makes a suggestion while they're on the beach, and it's brand new information to him that
Yeah.
everyone thinks he and Amanda should split up.
And Sierra uses the phrase, "Here, I need to pick your head about last night." I've never heard that phrase before. That's not the phrase, but okay.
Okay.
And this is earlier in the night where he's not so blotto that he's not just swaying. Like at one point, he's just swaying around like this. And he was like, "I'm still thinking about what you said on the beach." And Sierra very smartly says, "You don't know how to process emotion. So then you blow up and you make it everybody's problem." And she's kind of scolding him, but like in a sisterly way. And I did not take offense with this.
You don't need, or you don't know how to express yourself. And I completely agree with that. I think that he really is having a difficult time coming up with the ways to express himself, but also this to me is pretty classic in a narcissistic relationship, you know, and I go back to, I think I said this last week, I think Amanda truly has narcissistic personality disorder. I mean, she is having, you know, she's doing all these things where it's like secretly poke, 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 until she can push him over the edge in public, and he loses his mind, and everyone says, oh, "Kyle, you bastard," you know,
right? And I don't think that we talked enough. I mean, I know we talked for 2.5 hours last week, but I do not know if we talked enough about the "fuck you" at the table, in which she goaded him into that, and that's exactly what Sierra is saying. Like, he did not know how to articulate what was happening. And so his immediate anger came out like that. But now that we've seen it and we've watched it back, and remember how we were talking last week about what's it like at their house? I bet the way she was at this party, I bet that's how it is at their house.
Yeah, absolutely. Just he's trying to like he's running behind her like a puppy dog. Can we talk? Hey, Amanda, hey, would you like some food? Hey, would you like this? And she's literally ignoring him. I mean, just be a bitch if you want to, and be like, hey man, we're in a fight right now. Don't come hang around with me.
Yes.
But to just act like he's invisible and doesn't even exist, that's the person you're married to. This is not.
I mean, I had an ex-husband, as a matter of fact, who gave the silent treatment. And in that moment, I did not know how abusive that was. I just know how bad it felt. But now I obviously, have some distance. That is low-key emotionally abusive. And
absolutely. And Kyle even says, when he and Sierra are having that chat, he says, "I just feel like no one hears me." And that's very telling too.
Many, many times that everybody is seeing something that's not really true. They're not seeing past it. Nobody hears him. He says that many times, and he's been saying it. And truthfully, we haven't been hearing him because he has been just so like preoccupied with sending it that we're not really clocking in.
And some of his terrible behaviors in the past, honestly, have kind of camouflaged him trying to express himself, because you focus on what trash stuff he's done instead of really paying attention to like what else is going on there.
And he is, a boy. He is a whole Peter Pan situation happening. He apologizes. He's very contrite. And she's like, "Apologize for last night." We get to see Andrea's there. Party, 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 party. And this is where we get to the Lindsay and Carl
in the
chat.
Igloo?
Yes, in the igloo.
Yes.
Lindsay, I love her. She is our Queen Mother Hubbard, but she is a really big personality.
Yes.
And I would not want to be in a one-on-one chat in an igloo with one Miss Hubbard.
If I were her ex-fiance who had been the one who broke up with her, I would most definitely. I mean, she
Right.
could shiv him, like
Yeah.
nothing would,
But
surprise me with her. But he was
even
very
milder,
brave to go over there, I have to say.
he says maybe
And
4 words. 4 words. He could not get one word in edgewise.
I know, but you know what? I feel like she got her closure with this. And I
Yeah.
have to say, I was very actually impressed with Carl, uh, because she basically was like, getting him. I mean, she basically called him out on some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, you're right. Like I should have, I did owe you an apology, and I probably wouldn't have ever said it. So I think this was actually I really loved this conversation. I feel like she got some closure. I feel like they ended on sort of a positive note. I also made a little side note. Do we want a Carl Lindsay reboot?
Yes.
Like I'm almost.
I know. I'm upset.
This.
I'm upset that he's not in the city too. That was a real missed opportunity. But I would like to say too that Carl has a type. He is attracted to strong personalities. The way he is with Kyle, and was too afraid to talk to Kyle about the investment and the lover boy and the brother's anniversary. That's the same way he was with Lindsay when they broke up. He just ignored her and probably told everybody who would listen about it.
Except
and
for
Lindsay's,
her.
Yeah, exactly. So he definitely has a type and has an MO for sure.
Yeah. And I just also like to point out really quickly, I am very, I don't know, maybe impressed. I'm not quite sure at all of these women at this party, and this whole season actually, their ability to sit around in these thong bathing suits and have deep conversations. Cindy,
yeah,
I felt like everything was about to pop out at any moment, or that my butt, was hanging out. I don't know that I would have the bandwidth to sit there and have these deep convos. So
that is what Jeff and I.
Well done, Sierra and Mia and all the rest of you ladies.
Well, that is what Jeff and I call a because the youth moment, right? At a certain time in my life, maybe, but now, and I'm even with Lindsay. She's like, "Listen, I'm leaving this swimsuit on. I'm not jumping in naked. I'm not doing that."
But Sierra's swimsuit bottoms are literally this wide. I mean, they are the width of my pen, and she's just sitting there, sure, let me have a deep conversation. And
for sure, I
mean, feelings,
really, really. Getting into some of the deepest emotions of it too. But also it bears noting that Carl's mom is a messy bitch. And we heard a little bit more about dancing on the grave. And I don't know if you know this too, but Lindsay has a very, very complicated relationship with her mother. They don't see each other. I think that she was abandoned by her. And she's really I think there was some substance or some sort of mental illness, something. And so Lindsay really goes hard in on a mother figure. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why she was so triggered by Sharon. And then so triggered by Sharon dancing on the grave of their relationship. So, I really hope that this is the beginning of a friendship / more because I want it so bad.
Agreed.
You know what I really hate? Watching freaking commercials. This is some bullshit. But this is bullshit.
Lindsay is on the commercials. Good for her. I was
She's killing it.
Doing a T-Mobile bit. Okay, Lindsay, good for you. Which she needs to pay for that damn apartment and nanny that we will find out.
Yeah, she
in the city. But good for her.
She's making money. She's really making money. And I just wrote, have to watch commercials. This is terrible because I don't typically have to. Either we have a screener or I watch them on my streaming. So he wound up that he apologized. He, like you said, he handled it really well. And it's really good when you crack the whip. And she's like, yeah, I got to do that a lot around here. So,
I think Carl does like a woman who cracks the whip.
I mean, I'm telling you, he has a specific personality type. Then this is the first of Amanda's snubs here, where Kyle's looking for her. Lindsay's like, go find your wife, go have a conversation with her. Back off if she doesn't want it. Nope. And so he's like, hey, I want to introduce you to someone. She says, nah, I'm good. And keeps walking.
It just keeps moving. I mean, does not even a pause.
That is really, really rude. And in her confessional, she's like, listen, I don't really want to ignore our issues. Yes, you do. But I really don't want to argue. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
And 2, she says, will he say he's sorry about it? Probably. Will he do it again? Yes. And so that's true. I believe that is definitely true.
That probably
and
is
that
true.
Her reaction is the only thing that's changed. And I think that might be why Kyle is reacting so strongly, because she is approaching it different. this is not how she usually acts, right?
Right. I agree. I agree. I think, don't you wonder if, because of course, when the show is being filmed, nothing has come out about
Mm-hmm.
the separation or her and West or, whatever yet.
Right.
So don't you feel like her reactions to Kyle have changed because she feels like she's got like the popular opinion behind her? I feel like everyone is sort of like,
Maybe.
oh, but you deserve so much better. And it's sort of like pushing her. I think she's probably wanted to do this for a while. I'm not even sure that she really wanted to marry Kyle, but I think she sort of got wrapped up in it. And then I feel like she's now being, more okay with acting like this and acting like she's going to leave him because people are boosting her up. And so she's like, well, everyone's not going to be mad at me if I leave him. You got another cat in heat?
Well, no, but she's just talking. I don't know. She's just she's real vocal. I don't know if y'all can hear the cat meowing. I got one sitting right here, and then one at the vet, and one crying her eyes out. So I don't know. It's always nuts around here. But I do think though she timed their announcement. Excuse me, in time for the season to premiere, and so I think she understood how he was acting and how he was going, what people were going to say. And I think she was really banking on that as well. I agree with what you're saying. She's really banking on that folks being on her side. What she was not banking on is the shit coming out about West and everybody turning on her in a way, because now everything she does, we are all like, this bitch.
Right.
And through another lens, we could be more forgiving about it. But through this lens, it's not. So,
West is so sweaty and gross. This whole headband Sherpa Patagonia pullover fleece thing that he has going on for this ski party.
The unearned confidence this man has. And you know what? And I'm not going to pile on Sierra, but it is women like Sierra that give him this unearned confidence. Because he's pulling women like this. He thinks he is something. He is not. He is a plain bagel with the mayonnaise smeared on it. And
like, I wish we had like a side by side from just stills from this picture, from this party, where West over here, sweaty Sherpa, whatever, and then Sierra in her silver little micro bikini, her ass. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, and she's very thin too.
And I say that as a straight woman. Oh my God. I mean, I was sitting here thinking, damn girl, you look
her body is banging. Her body is
for
banging.
Real.
But
it's the two of them. Ugh.
This whole scene, well, it's really, by the way, Sierra and Stephanie are best friends now. I don't care much about that, but it bears mentioning Ben's, no, Sabrina. I wrote Stephanie. Who is Sabrina? I mean, who's Stephanie? I don't know. I wrote Stephanie. No, so Sierra and Sabrina being best buds is kind of irrelevant, except when this next scene where West and Ben are sitting there and he was like, listen, man, you need to tell Sabrina to stop making us date. You're a liar. Liar.
Yeah.
But
Sabrina and Ben are in love.
Yeah, they're in love.
Yay.
I mean, I don't care.
Where's my heart? Right there.
Yeah, I don't know if I care about that. I will care when we see them again. That's
fair. That's fair.
That is my assessment about it. But this whole thing right here is wild work. Tell Sabrina.
West and Sierra.
Yes. Well, this conversation between West and Ben.
Yes.
Tell Sabrina to stop trying to force us to date.
I'm not trying to be a boyfriend.
Then leave her alone and said something about, yes, you see what happened when I tried to date her casually. He's the only one that remembers season 8 differently than the rest of us. They weren't dating casually. You took her to meet your parents.
And Sierra has said multiple times in multiple seasons, she doesn't date casually.
Right.
She is like a serious dater. She does not have time just to be fucking around, she is here for a relationship, or she's not here for it at all.
Right. And
What
Wes
is unclear about that?
It's like he's the only one that is not computing for.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody, but he's like, oh, it's just so hard to ignore the sexual tension and this natural chemistry. I don't want to be her boyfriend. Why not? Like, why not? Is this just something wrong with you?
Do
Or
you think you're going to do better?
There's no way this man.
Model, nurse, perfect body, sweet person?
Well, some online people saying that there was already some emotional feelings happening between him and Amanda at this point. And so that's why he wasn't going all in. Maybe he's just a douche. I don't know.
I mean, there had to be something a little bit between him and Amanda, because haven't we already seen that long hug in the foyer, and like him trying to get in between when she had her hands around Kyle's neck, and he's the one who like calms her down and stuff. And
yeah, and like, I don't know about you, but my wife is not kissing my best friend's heads. Like, that's just not a thing that's happening. But
no,
but
interesting on this episode that I saw, Amanda was very kissy, lovey with several other people. Specifically, I saw it happen with Jesse too. And I have to wonder if maybe at this point there's a little something between, her and West or whatever. And so she's trying to like camouflage it by sort of being overly, I love you so much.
Oh yeah.
Overly kissy with other people so that
maybe
the audience, like maybe we don't catch on. Because a couple of different times where I was like,
what about her fucking husband catching on? You're not afraid of your husband's going to be catching on?
She is not.
So I am also really enjoying the friendship. I'm really enjoying the friendship between Kyle and Lindsay. They have been there. They're both the OGs from like the season 1, and they know each other really well. And I really like how they kind of talk to each other. And this is another time when Sierra and Amanda come by, and he's like, hey, do you want anyone to talk? She's like, nope, my friends are calling. I got to go. Again, just blows him the fuck off. Like, I don't know. And this is what you were talking about earlier. This is where it starts to kind of like click in that, oh shit, what is she going to say? Why is she avoiding me in this way? Something big is obviously coming. He's scared about that. He's going to have another conversation about how to recover. And in his confessional, I think it was his confessional, he says, yeah, well, I mean, I've just given her all the ammunition for her just to like walk away, talk about that big fight on Friday.
Yeah.
And that's just a bummer, because he's like realizing it, and we're having to watch the slow demise of his marriage when Amanda essentially has already clocked out of this.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit painful. Yeah. And also Amanda, this is like where she and Mia and Sierra are like, they're in the kitchen, I think maybe, or they're talking, they're like eating wings and stuff.
Yeah. Blue cheese versus ranch. That's how I labeled it.
She puts the wing in her mouth but doesn't take a bite, and then she has to talk about that, like, oh, I just sucked that, I didn't eat it,
I'm just being silly.
Yeah, she says something about being silly. I wrote down, ma'am, do you know what silly means? Do you know what these words, when you're talking about yourself as being fun, do you actually understand? Because you're not. These are not fun, silly things. You're just being weird.
And I've said this before too, but before all of this happened, I didn't even much think of Amanda at all.
Right.
Like,
as anything.
She's just not really.
So hilarious that she's trying to give herself a
I mean, now. She's after all this time, which her personality used to be Kyle's wife, and now her personality is West's side piece. So like, that is just going from one to another, which at the end of this show, we're going to talk about the reunion. Have you seen the reunion clip?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We're going to talk about that at the end of this, because holy cannoli. So Amanda is really grateful to them because they say what she thinks and is too afraid. And they're just hyping her up in a way, just being such good friends. And it is shocking. It's so
hard to watch Mia and Sierra just really, oh, but you're so wonderful. We love you so much. Like, just being her champion.
Yeah, you need more confidence, and she feels like she's not enough. That feels performative. You said earlier about how she's a narcissist. I would contend that maybe there's some sort of vulnerability narcissism happening there, that like that's how she manipulates, that's how she controls, and she's like, oh, I'm just a baby, and they all swarm around her, so that way she kind of weaponizes that vulnerability. And she said, and I do appreciate this, Sierra was like, listen, I've been handling you with kid gloves. I mean, this whole situation, if you want to get it done, let's get it done. Tell me what you want. We'll pack your shit up and go right now.
Right. I love
and
that. That's me and you. I feel like that's how you and I are as friends. I mean, it is you don't think you can handle this? Let me jump in. I will take care of it.
Exactly. Like,
if you're friends with Emily or Sunday, call us. We'll handle stuff.
That's right. I
also would like to point out that Amanda was drinking out of my crystal glasses.
Was she?
So that bitch, I had to pour a glass today because I got to take that back. You can't drink out of the same crystal that I have, ma'am.
At the après ski? At the après ski? Wow.
Mocktail, because still daylight hours outside, but
well, bold of her to be pulling out the crystal in a party that insane. But
agreed, but whatever.
And so Kyle still just droopy dog, melancholy. He's like, well, I guess this is just the grave I dug. Yes, it is, sir. And it's probably too late. Like for you to wake up and be surprised that she wants to separate is a little clueless on your part. I mean,
well, let's talk about clueless. He's talking with Ben and Sabrina and, about it. And she's like, you need to go fight for your woman. Ma'am, read the room. Have you not experienced any of this relationship here?
No, she has not. She's brand new here. That's why I want to be like, Sabrina, just take a seat. Sit down.
Maybe stay out of it if you don't have better advice.
Yeah, sit down, Sabrina. Stop trying to make Sabrina happen, Sabrina.
Also, why did Kyle have so many clothes on? I mean, he had like there was a shirt, and then there was a vest, and then there was a fur coat, and I was like, you're making me feel anxious. Take a layer off, man.
He was dressed like 2005 Kevin Federline with those construction boots and those weird jorts, and then and then it just made it even more sad because he walks up to, I guess, he walks up to Amanda and somebody. Sabrina sends him over, right? And he walks up, and they're sitting over there, and he just kind of stands there. Hey. And they look up, and then I think they get up and walk off. He's like, what? It's just so awkward. It's like, have you met these women before? Don't you live with her? Isn't this your wife? It is just so strange.
Yeah.
And then this is where they're all going to jump in the pool, blah, 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 blah. And he tears up in the confessional. And this is where it just breaks my heart, because drunk, sad Kyle is a joke, but sober confessional crying Kyle is just heartbreaking, because he's like a real person in the confessional. It's not a cartoon like he is in the house.
And he's not blameless in all of this. I mean, in some ways, I'm kind of thinking, Kyle, you did sort of contribute to making this bed, but it is sad to see, that really happen.
Even without the West stuff, they would have separated and divorced anyway. There's a 10-year age gap between them. And we learned this in this episode and in the city too, where Amanda there's an energy level difference. I'll forget who said, I think Ben maybe said that.
Yes.
Where that Kyle wants to go and do and be out and be friends, and DJ is really capitalizing on his spirit, and Amanda wants to just stay home and get high.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
and I mean, if you can't find a compromise between those two personalities and some way to make it work, then yeah.
Well, Kyle said, instead of finding a compromise, I'm just going to go the opposite way and DJ. That's what he said. He was like, compromise? I don't know her. Let me just go party hard.
She's like, I really wish you would stay home more. We would have more quiet nights. And he says, say less. I'm going to go DJ. And
that's right. I'm out.
Promote myself and whatever else. So
we get a little sneak peek of Yvonne here. She was spending the night with Lindsay. They go to bed talking about curls. This is where you and Curl used to fuck and have sex and all that. And we'll meet Yvonne in a minute.
Some of the people go to bed. Some of the people go out.
How?
Of course.
How? How are these people upright? I mean, besides cocaine and
I
or
was gonna say the
Adderall.
showers, the amount of showers
Yeah.
that they take,
But like there was one, we cut to Kyle just like being mopey in his confessional and kind of swaying like Michael Myers at the party to him at the club, like
I know.
I mean, that's
where's that coming from? And then 2 a.m.,
did Amanda go out or no?
I don't think so.
Well, they come home in shifts, and so I didn't know if maybe she went out
because he
came home early.
Something. Well, maybe she did go out and came home early, but he says something way late night. I mean, it's like 5 a.m. I think something like that.
Yeah,
where they pass each other in the kitchen.
Another awkward encounter.
And he says, "Oh, I didn't want to come into the bed. I didn't want to wake you up or disturb you.
I found some chips."
Yeah, she just kept, going. I'm like, okay.
Okay, so we'll get to that in a second, but it's 5 a.m. It's poolside, okay? Ben and Sabrina out there. West and Sierra kiss.
They are making out. Like,
right.
They are tonsil hockey, okay? I mean.
Tonsil hockey. This is, I mean, I don't want to pile on Sierra, but girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you validating this man's mediocre self?
After, what's it been? A week? 2 weeks?
Yeah. One conversation and she's on his jock again.
Made peace or sort of, forged this, bridge back between them. All I can say is the heart wants what it wants, and I mean, I have made some dumb ass choices. About men too, because I was in love. But
I mean, listen, I just told a story about a dude I used to date who drove a pedicab in Pensacola, Florida, barefooted with cut off jean shorts and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. So I won't say much about West. At least he has a real job and doesn't drive a pedicab.
Yeah, we're gonna have to circle back to that at another time.
So everybody is just like hype about this. They go back to the room and Jesse, I shouldn't say hype. Jesse is fairly confused. Like, what the fuck is going on? Everybody,
honestly, I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Same,
Jesse, same.
Everybody sees this train heading for her, but her. Even Amanda, and I won't say that Amanda's intentions are all bad. Even Amanda is saying, don't do this, West, because she is going to take it seriously. Don't do it. Whatever her intentions are, she sees enough of the situation to know that West is going to fuck her up. Even West says, I'm going to fuck her up. And Sierra's heart, barges ahead. And it is a lot of hugs and kissing. She's in his room and he's like trying to nudge her towards the bed. Are you going to fuck her in front of Jesse? Like,
I mean, I was yelling at the TV. No, turn, girl, turn around, walk out of that room right now.
And then Jesse says, imagine being Kyle right now, going in to see your wife at 6 a.m. and she wants you dead. Listen, I thought Jesse was an idiot, but like he's coming
spot on this episode. I have to say he's had a lot of very accurate comments.
And then
Sierra, wait, okay, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say the next morning, but is there more to say about this night?
No, the next morning. That's what I was about to say. Sierra telling Mia the next morning. Mia's reaction.
Yeah. Who are you with?
Mia's reaction is everyone in the entire universe's reaction, because Sierra says, well, we might have kissed. Mia throws her phone and like rolls her eyes so hard. Yeah. It was so funny.
And she was like, don't forget you were utterly destroyed. You were a shell of yourself last time. Don't forget. And she's like, easy. But the minute that they cut to daylight, I'm thinking, what fucking time is it? If they were up till 6 o'clock in the morning, but then of course we get a timestamp, it was like 10:30, which is still not a very long morning to sleep in after being up till 6 o'clock in the morning. And we get a scene where, I don't know, the camera's like around the corner for Kyle and Amanda, and he's like trying to approach her. I don't know what he was trying to do, if he was trying to kiss her or if he was trying to like talk to her or something. And she was like, no. And I heard him say, Jesus. But the camera wasn't all the way in the room. Do you remember that little scene? It was like almost between the door or something.
Uh-huh.
And she was like, nope.
Yes.
And then and Kyle's just like, I wanted to talk about the bigger picture. Well, it's not a great time. Everybody just woke up. But kind of needs to happen.
It does need to happen, but yeah, Kyle's timing is not. There's a lot of timing issues. I feel like with everybody on this show with stuff that they decide now's a good time to talk about. Deep thoughts. Like,
yes. Well, speaking of deep thoughts, Jesse is getting a debrief from West, and Jesse says he was shockado to see. That made me laugh to see them. And even Jesse here is saying, hey, have y'all had a conversation about what's happening? Hey, she doesn't want to end up in the same boat. Are you okay? Like, what's going to happen? And Wes is like, just like a shrug emoji. And Jesse says, for the 100th time, only do it if you're going in 110%.
Right.
And spoiler alert, narrator says he did not go in 110%. But Mia's trying to be a good friend.
To the shock of absolutely no one.
No one, right? 100%. Mia's trying to be a good friend. She's like, listen, I mean, I guess he's charming. It's fine. I'll like him, this is because everybody is thinking that he is starting something up with her because everybody has said, don't start something up unless you want to start something up. So everybody's kind of like making plans for a West Sierra comeback tour, except West.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is their last brunch in the house. Last summer.
So sad.
So sad. As we know it. Summer house as we know it is, I watched a TikTok the other day, probably this morning, where it was like talking about drawing the family lineage of Bravo, how Real Housewives of Beverly Hills gave birth in some way to Summer House. So it's like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills to Vanderpump Rules to Summer House to In the City. So it's kind of like their grandfather heritage. There's a lot of connective tissue there.
Okay. I like a little flow chart. Yeah. I will say it was sort of funny, like watching them all start to pack their stuff up. So Sunday, I have been in a summer house in New York before. When I lived in New York, we had, one summer we did a share house. I left like some shampoo in the shower out there. That was about it. I wasn't taking half of my possessions in the world. These people were packing up boxes of stuff. Like, it was unbelievable to me how much stuff they had out there. Like,
I believe, and I may correct me if I'm wrong, Pod Squad, but I believe that Bravo has just purchased that house at some point, or rents it for the entire summer, like from Memorial Day to Labor Day. And so to keep them from having to like schlep so much back and forth, I think they do leave a lot of stuff there because nobody else is in that house. And also too, don't forget that like Video Village is probably in the garage where they have all of the editors and the producers where they all sit and stuff like that. So that they probably don't dismantle that and put that back together every weekend. So I
guess that makes a little more sense, but still, I mean, Kyle had a closet. It looked like just a normal closet full of stuff.
Oh, I think Kyle probably packs and then doesn't pack to go home. He just like leaves his shit. He's like, ugh, never mind. But so this is where things are. Everybody's like super sad. Wah.
Yeah.
Bailey was unlucky in love, right? But what about Carl? I thought that.
Well, she kind of talks about that. She says that it hasn't really panned out into anything, but she, they're friendly, they have some banter, and we'll see what happens, sort of thing. I think that maybe they just didn't have the chemistry.
He restored her faith in men. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna quote our good friend Alia. I would beg for it from Carl. Okay. I mean, even when Carl was at his douchiest, when he was deep in his disease, I still would have been like, yes, keep it poppin', daddy. Like, yeah. I find
I
him to
have
be
come
very
around.
attractive.
I have
Yeah.
come around to Carl. You know, you and I debated, okay, is he good looking or is he just, you know,
Tall.
6'4"? Yeah. Which we do love a tall man, you
We
know.
do love a tall man.
But I will say that he has grown more attractive to me this season, partly because he's developed as a person. He seems to be, you know, I mean, he's just a different personality. Sober Carl is a better person.
And he
he's
really,
he's not the most fun guy all the time. Sometimes he's a little like lacking a little oomph, but he's very sweet, and I think he's really trying hard. So I'm on board.
and he does attribute who he is today to how much shit Lindsay gave him, because Lindsay did like that towards the end. She was like, do something. What are you doing? You don't have a real job. You don't do this. And so, you know, I'm saying, I think there is a future there for them, because he needs somebody to boss him around.
Agreed.
Everybody's packing up. If they're crying and Sierra's crying and West is crying and Mia tells West to take care of my girl.
Yeah. We are really all jumping the gun on like shipping this whole thing, I feel like.
Well, I don't know if they just don't have an awareness of how fucked up West is about relationships, but I think that everyone is presupposing that West took that seriously, took Sierra's heartbreak seriously, took the advice of everyone to just really like, don't rekindle something without being serious. And so I think everybody's like, okay, well, he obviously knows what he's doing. He doesn't.
He does not. No.
Or
maybe he does, and he just doesn't care. I mean, maybe he is just.
That is much more sinister. If he is doing this with her again as just a way to, like, I don't know, a little bit of make out, or even just to try to fuck her, and he knows, like, that is diabolical. That is diabolical.
The scorpion that rides across the lake on the frog's back and then kills the frog. I mean, you knew I was a scorpion. I mean, you know. I don't know.
So this is the big one here.
So now everyone's gone except Kyle and Amanda pulls Kyle outside for a chat. Also, aren't y'all the last people in the house? Why do we have to go sit on the front porch to have
I wondered that too. I wonder if maybe the camera members were already out there and they're like, hey man, you can all just sit down right here because like we don't want to have to like
this is a good spot for us.
Yeah. I don't want to have to reblock the living room. Could you please just sit down? But I wondered that same thing too. But this got me though. This really did get me. And even as much as I despise Amanda in these ways, her and him going back and forth, because it's been 10 years they've been together. And, you know, when and this was got me too, when he was like, listen, that conversation with Sierra really took me by surprise. And she was like, well, I didn't really think anything of it because we're in a good place. Are you?
Yeah, exactly. I said, what the fuck? I mean, like,
I
thought, but she also says, I thought we were in a good place, but then you acted that way on Saturday, Friday, whatever night it was.
Yeah.
And again, just so manipulative. You can't say, well, we were in a good place until you fucked it up.
Yeah, you ruined it. And though Kyle called her, though, he said, I've just given her that my tantrum on Friday night gave her all of the things that she needs to leave me. And truthfully, I bet she would have never left him. Kyle would have had to have been the one to do all of the heavy lifting and the separation and the divorce.
Yeah.
I think. If it hadn't blown up like this, I bet. And Kyle, to this day, right now, in real time, is still taking up for her. They were.
I know.
They were seen at the In the City premiere together, and he was getting a lot of flack online. And Kyle had to be like, "Listen, she's still a human being. Everybody, like, she's still my wife. Or so, like, you know, back off." But
Amanda too, though, is so sometimes just out of touch with reality, it seems like, because she makes this comment about, like, she talks through all the events that they've had, you know, their wedding, their engagement, their fake wedding thing or whatever. I don't even know all the things.
Because it was COVID. They had scheduled their wedding for COVID, and so they had to do a fake one.
We've done it all, but it's been so hard. Well, yes, ma'am. Yes. It's called life. Life is not easy. Relationships are hard. I mean,
being an adult too.
Yeah,
I think that
being a
Amanda
grown-up
doesn't
is
understand.
hard, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, now she did make one good point where she says something about like we just cannot keep doing it like this.
Yeah.
Agreed. Because
Yes.
what y'all are doing is very toxic and not working.
Yeah. Is this what forever is going to look like? Is the one that got me. I was like, ooh, yeah, that's rough. But and in a bubble, the things that she is saying make really good sense. Like, listen, I want to go home,
Yes,
and whatever what it looks like for us, however our start over looks, that's how I want to do it. But we've already seen what that looks like, and so it's really hard to kind of hold space for her or feel sympathetic to her because we know that she's already fucking your mate. Like, yeah. And she says this too. I mean, he's just so emotional. And I wrote down, this is the first time that I've ever seen Kyle look 43. Like, he looks like he aged 10 years between the night before and this morning.
Out because we have talked about his skincare regimen before. He definitely Botoxes. So I was watching his
his
emotions and lack of movement during that whole scene, and I'm like, yeah. So
yeah,
I do not know all the injections that he's having done, but he is definitely getting some tox in the forehead.
Well, but like whoever's doing it, maybe it's Georgina. Whoever is doing it is doing
a very good job,
right? Because like those flashbacks that we saw, he looks exactly the same. He does not look like a weird clay version of himself. He looks the same. Yes. So Georgina, arguably the most successful person on that thing. But she does say this too about how she can't look out for him anymore. And that is the thing that she's done. She has always like made excuses for him and took up for him. And when he gets mad, she's constantly sort of scrambling to make sure his tantrum is over and like all of that. And so I can understand that. Okay, enough's enough. But now kind of feels like, Kyle, now that the summer house is over and he's like getting to a normal pace of life, now is when you want to bail out. Like, I don't know. And
the timing is suspicious.
Yeah. And she wants him to realize just how serious she is. And so let's talk a little bit about the reunion, because did we get the timeline at the end of Summer House or at the beginning of In the City?
I'm not quite sure. It one bled into the next.
Yeah, mine did too, because I was watching it live and with fucking commercials. But that reunion, Sierra is coming hot. And all of this time, but like this thing, remember it broke in March. She knew what these last episodes were going to look like the whole time. And she has just been, mum is the word. What do you make of her telling Amanda that he's dating you to spite me?
Oh, that's interesting. I thought about that when she said it. I don't know that West is that deep of a thinker, that he's planning that out. Now, put that shoe on the other foot. Is Amanda hooking up with West to spite Sierra?
But maybe. What motivation?
I think she's jealous. I think Amanda is. I said this last time. Amanda wants the toy that somebody else has. She doesn't want the toy that she has. She wants what someone else has.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I think she is jealous of Sierra. I mean, regardless of how she swears that they're such good friends. And I think it's sort of a power trip to her. To feel like, well, look at this, goddess that everyone loves, Sierra, and I can pull this guy that she thinks is into her. I can make him fall.
There's a power differential there too.
I think West just likes anything that's got a vagina. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he's very discriminatory about.
I don't either, and I also think
the person that belongs to.
If he was going to spite her, that would mean that he actually cared about Sierra or even thought about her. And I don't think he does. He doesn't think about anybody but himself. So
yes. Yeah.
And did we get the answer? Andy asked him if they were in love. Did we get the answer to it? I didn't take notes on it because I just saw it on the social media, so I didn't take notes. But Andy did. So are we to believe that you guys are in love?
I think that they did a sort of cut to their faces and then cut away.
Yeah.
I think it was like that Bravo editing to kind of intrigue us but not give us the answer. Is
and
what I recall.
You do got to hand it to Wes and Amanda for showing up at all, though. Like, I don't know. That's my Vietnam. I would not be able to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I bet they have to. I bet it's in their contract.
I think, but there's ways out there. They've seen stars not come before. Maybe it's worth it to pay the fine or it's worth it to do whatever. But, and.
Yeah, but these jokers are broke, so they're not going to.
Yeah, maybe. But Kyle, super differential, right? Like, not really coming hot or hard either way, right? I didn't really make a note of that.
On the reunion?
Yeah, on the reunion.
Yeah. No, and I think at one point, and maybe this was on one of the Watch What Happens after the reunion.
Yeah, because you watched the Watch What Happens live last night, didn't you? Watch some of it?
But at one point, like, he said something about how, Amanda got up and walked off and West did not follow her, even though everyone is saying, "Yeah, dude, go follow her. Go follow your woman.
Go get your girl."
And Kyle was like, "Well, I mean, I almost felt like maybe I should go follow her." No, Kyle, no, you should. But sweet of you.
Yeah, Kyle's sweet.
Still trying to look out for her,
Kyle's sweet too, but yeah. I am so hyped for this reunion. This is the very first time we've ever had 3 separate installments of it. We are going to cover it all too, so hold on to your hat. Bravo, if you're listening, please send me screeners. I promise not to tell anybody. And now we're about to jump into the city. So if you hear this, it's already in your timeline. So you can just pop from this one straight over. If you want, participate with us on social media. We are at Take a Pinot Pod on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if wherever you're listening right now, just take a second to stop and give us a little bit of a rating, give us a review, right? Type a few words because that helps us get to the top of the algorithm if we can hear more of us. So we'll see you in the city.